In the 80s, the early 80s, I had a 1977 Cadillac Sedan DeVille dElegance, which is the car featured at the top of the photo. The car below is the Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham, and the Sedan DeVille were basically styled the same through 1985. So as you can see, both cars are very similar in design and in features, and that also not only for the exterior but for the interior itself. Now, before I had that car, I had a 1974 Cadillac Eldorado. My father, who was a Depression baby and of the World War II generation, looked down on me for my desire to have a luxury automobile. And I was 22 at the time, and he felt that I should be in the type of cars that young people had all of this, various class structure. Well, that's just stuff that was in his head. And his idea was that, you had to earn the right to a Cadillac. Well, my attitude was, if you have the money for something and you want it, then buy it. Anyway, it really irked him when I got the Sedan DeVille because it was identical to the new Cadillacs. General Motors in 1977, that was the first year they downsized their car. They went from the older styles, if you look at from 1976, that style, it was a drastic difference. And so, again, as you see, there's hardly any change at all. So it meant that if you had a 1977 Cadillac and it was in 1982 or 83, you essentially had the same car, inside and out. Maybe some of the features were slightly different. Maybe there was a different emblem on the tail light or on the headlight and that type of thing. So anyway, it was fun to do that because at church, the majority of the members, they were of that same generation, the Bob Dole generation, the Depression babies, World War II, all of that. And to them, it was like you had to work your whole life in order to achieve, and the symbol of that was a Cadillac. And I always got a kick out of it. The husbands, they'd want the Cadillac, but the excuse was, I bought my wife a nice Cadillac. Well, that's all bullshit. But anyway, if you look through online, you will see that, and you will see the Cadillac line. Look at the brochure from 1976 and then to 77. And not only for Cadillac, but that was also for Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and Chevrolet. It was all the same. They downsized the cars by basically cutting 2 feet off of them. They changed the style from the round look that still actually made them look like a 1950s or 60s car. This way it was a totally new style. Then came 1986. And that was the age of the Ford Taurus. We'd just been through the Challenger disaster. Ford comes out with the Taurus. They were, and essentially, the Tesla of their time. Everybody had to have a Taurus, including yours truly, and I got one. It was in 1987. It was an excellent car. But again, after that, many of those Cadillac people, because Cadillac downsized in 1985, and that set a fear through all of us. Oh my God, what were they going to look like? And they looked like a cheap little Chevrolet. I said, thank God, because mine just dwarfed it. And for the Fleetwood Brougham, they kept the remaining body style that they had used for the past 7 years for the Sedan DeVilles and the Fleetwoods. So essentially, I was right there with that DeVille. But again, like so many, you got caught up with the new IMAX movies that were coming out. The future was there. We got through the Challenger disaster, and there was the Taurus. They were the Tesla of their time. And with that, we'll see you in the next clip.